Oh my goodness. You guys, I honestly don't even know where to begin today because I am still recovering, I'm still laughing, and quite frankly, I am feeling more vindicated than I have ever felt in my entire life. You know how we always say that eventually the truth comes out? We always say that you can't hide who you really are forever, no matter how many PR firms you hire or how many word salad statements you release. Well, it has finally happened, but it didn't come from a courtroom or a tell-all book from a former staffer. It came from a puppet show. Yes, you heard me right. The legendary satirical, no-holds-barred show Spitting Image has finally turned its gaze on the Duchess of Montecito and her handbag husband. And let me tell you, it was not a roast. It was an incineration. It was a total, brutal, absolute destruction of the brand she has tried so desperately to curate. And I need to talk about every single glorious second of it because the world is finally seeing what we have seen for years. Now, I know you guys are excited for more Ham 4. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, I mean, the moment the lights went up and that puppet walked out, I gasped. I literally gasped. It wasn't just a caricature, it was a documentary. The puppet of Meghan, this oversized, dominating figure with the dramatic hair flips and the self-important air, walked onto the stage and said, "I'm Meghan Sussex, and I'm a good person. I nearly choked on my tea. I'm a good person." Who says that? Who has to walk into a room and announce that they are a good person? I'll tell you who. Someone who is trying to convince themselves and everyone else because their actions say the exact opposite. It was such a perfect, biting opening line because it encapsulates her entire existence. The constant need for validation, the constant need to tell us how saintly she is, while she destroys families and complains about her privileged life. The puppet didn't just walk, she commanded the stage, daring the audience to look away, exactly like the real evil mastermind who thinks every camera lens in the world belongs to her personally. And then the lines started coming, and they were razor sharp. The puppet, waving this glittery smartphone around, because God forbid she puts the phone down and actually lives in the moment, says, "Welcome, Your Royal Highness of Netflix and podcasts." The audience erupted, and so did I. It cuts right to the core of the grift, doesn't it? She wants the title, she wants the Royal Highness, but she only wants it so she can sell it to the highest bidder in Hollywood. She wants the crown, but only if she can monetize it. And speaking of crowns, there was this moment where the puppet says, "Can crowns go in the recycling bin?" My jaw hit the floor. It was funny, yes, but it was also so incredibly disrespectful, which is exactly the point. It perfectly captured that dismissive, arrogant attitude she has towards the British monarchy, an institution that has stood for 1,000 years, an institution that gave her the platform she abuses every single day. She treats the crown like it's a prop, something to be discarded when it no longer serves her aesthetic. But the part that really made me lose it, and I mean, I was howling, was the dynamic with Harry. We call him the brainwashed puppet, but seeing him actually portrayed as a timid, nervous puppet living in her shadow was both hilarious and tragedy. The show had him nodding along, whispering "yes, dear" into this comically oversized microphone. It's what we've all been saying. He has no voice. He has no opinion. He is just there to hold her purse and validate her delusions. And the visual gag of Harry trying to speak, trying to explain, and being totally drowned out by her struggles was a masterclass in satire. And then the pièce de résistance. The puppet Meghan tries to make this dramatic, cinematic exit from the palace, acting like she's fleeing a war zone, and she trips over a giant copy of Spare lying on the floor. I mean, give the writers an award right now. Tripping over Spare. It is the perfect metaphor. The very book he wrote to destroy his family, the book he wrote to play the victim, is the very thing that trips them up. It's the weight around their necks. They can't move forward because they are so obsessed with the past, so obsessed with settling scores that don't exist. Seeing the puppet Harry apologize nervously while Meghan stormed off it was art. It showed the world that he is the spare not to William, but to Meghan. He is the extra in her movie. And you could feel the audience in the studio reacting to that. It wasn't just laughter, it was a collective realization of, oh my god, that is exactly how it is. The show also went after her obsession with social media and optics, which is something that drives me absolutely crazy about her. The puppet is there, glued to her phone, reacting to every like and comment saying, "Ah, another fan tells me I inspire courage," and then rolling her eyes. It is so spot on. It exposes the performative nature of everything she does. She doesn't care about courage. She cares about the comment about courage. She cares about the engagement metrics. The puppet said, "Darling, it's not about helping people. It's about the optics." That line should be tattooed on her forehead. That is the Sussex motto. Whether it's Uvalde, or the veterans, or the near-catastrophic car chases, it is always, always about how it looks on camera. There was this scene where she holds up a giant charity check, because of course the check has to be giant, so everyone sees it, and a line of miniature royal puppets trips over it and crashes into a chandelier. It symbolizes the destruction she causes in the name of goodness. She crashes in, claiming to help, claiming to modernize, and just leaves wreckage in her wake. The glitter scattering everywhere? That's her sparkle. It's messy, it's impossible to clean up, and it's annoying to everyone who has to deal with it. And through all of this, the puppet Harry is just in the corner, sweating, wringing his hands, asking if they should be discreet. And the Meghan puppet snaps back, "Discreet? This is performance, Harry." That is the truth bomb of the century. Their life is a performance. Their love story is a performance. Their victimhood is a performance. I also loved the inclusion of the Queen, God rest her soul, even in puppet form. The puppet Queen says, "You've been quite busy, haven't you, Meghan?" Charities, Netflix, podcasts, and yet somehow chaos seems to follow. It was said with that regal disapproval that we all miss so much. It highlights the fact that the real royals, the working royals like William and Catherine and the late Queen, are about order, duty, and stability. Meghan is an agent of chaos. She thrives on it. She creates it. And the show didn't shy away from that. They didn't try to soften the blow. They showed her as a chaotic force that disrupts everything she touches. And can we talk about the wardrobe? The puppet changing into these increasingly ridiculous, oversized outfits, the massive hats, the ball gowns for daytime events. It mocks her complete inability to read the room, her desire to always be the most dressed up person, the main character. It's that Hollywood mentality of, "Look at me, I'm the star," which clashes so horribly with the understated dignity of the British aristocracy. When the puppet threw the miniature crown in the air while saying, "I am simply human," I felt that. It's the hypocrisy. She wants to be just Harry's wife and a simple mom while demanding to be addressed as the Duchess of Sussex and wearing blood diamonds. You can't have it both ways, sweetie, and the puppets made sure everyone knew it. The mock Netflix pitch meeting scene was another stroke of genius. Royal life hacks, Duchess diaries, all the tea. It's funny because it's barely satire. That is literally what they are doing. They are selling their family secrets for content. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel. And seeing the puppet Meghan pitch these ideas with a straight face, while Harry looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him whole, it just emphasized how far he has fallen. He went from being a war hero, a respected prince, to a pitchman for his wife's vanity projects. It is humiliating. And I think that's why this sketch hits so hard. It's not just funny, it's deeply embarrassing for them. It strips away the glamour and shows the desperation underneath. What I found most powerful was the meta commentary where the puppet breaks fourth wall and says, "You think you know me, but I control my own story." That is her obsession, isn't it? Control. She has to control the narrative. She has to control the press. She has to control Harry, and when she can't control it, she sues. Or she cries to Oprah. But the beauty of satire, the beauty of shows like Spitting Image, is that she can't control it. She can't sue a puppet. She can't claim the puppet is racist. It's a caricature. It's fair game. And that must be driving her absolutely insane in Montecito right now. The one thing a narcissist hates more than anything is being laughed at. They can handle being hated. It feeds their victim complex. But being mocked, being the butt of the joke, that destroys them. And this was a global mockery. I keep thinking about William and Catherine while watching this. I imagine them sitting at Adelaide Cottage, maybe after the kids have gone to bed, seeing clips of this. They would never say anything publicly, of course, because they have class, they have dignity. But surely, there must be a sense of relief, a sense that the world finally sees what they had to deal with behind palace doors. They lived with this main character energy, destroying their peace for years. They dealt with the yes, dear Harry. They dealt with the chaos. And now the whole world is seeing a puppet reenact it. It validates everything the palace stood for. The Queen's Recollections May Vary statement was polite. This puppet show is the raw, unfiltered translation of that statement. The reaction online has been incredible, too. The memes. Oh, the memes. Seeing the puppet Meghan trip over Spare on a loop is my new therapy. It's proof that the tide has turned completely. A few years ago, people were afraid to criticize her. They were afraid of being cancelled. But now, the floodgates are open. When you become a caricature on a major show, you have lost the battle for respect. You are no longer a serious figure. You are a punchline. And for someone who takes herself as seriously as Meghan does, someone who thinks she should be running the UN or the White House, being reduced to a puppet that recycles crowns is the ultimate defeat. The ending of the sketch, where she says, "If you think you can define me, think again," followed by the "there's always Netflix" quip, perfectly summarizes her future. She will keep trying to redefine herself. She will keep launching brands. She will keep selling jam. But we know who she is now. The puppet showed us the essence of the evil mastermind. Ambitious, hollow, controlling, and utterly devoid of self-awareness. And Harry? He's just the accessory she drags along for the ride, the royal seal of authenticity on her fake Hollywood life. I honestly think this is a turning point. You can't come back from this kind of ridicule easily. It sticks. Every time she releases a serious statement now, people are going to picture that puppet flipping its hair and checking its phone. Every time Harry looks sad in an interview, we're going to picture the puppet whispering, "Yes, dear." They have become a parody of themselves, and frankly, they deserve it. They brought this on themselves with their greed, their lies, and their absolute betrayal of the people who loved them. So Meghan, if you are watching, and we know you are, probably taking notes for your next clapback, maybe look in the mirror. The puppet isn't just a joke, it's a reflection. It's what you have become. And no amount of PR money can fix that. You wanted to be a star? Well, congratulations. You're the star of the funniest comedy show on earth, just not in the way you wanted. Anyway, I am going to go watch the clip again because it brings me so much joy. But I want to know what you guys think. Did you see the show? Did you think the puppet was accurate? Did you laugh as hard as I did when she tripped over Spare? And do you think Harry realizes that the whole world sees him as a puppet now? Let me know in the comments below because I read every single one of them and I love chatting with you. You guys are the best community, the smartest royal watchers out there. Don't forget to hit that like button if you think the Spitting Image writers deserve a knighthood from King Charles himself. And subscribe to the channel so we can keep laughing at the absurdity of the Sussex circus together. We stand with the real royals. We stand with the truth, and we definitely stand with the puppets. Until next time, keep smiling and don't trip over your own memoirs. See ya, ta-ta, and bye for now.